Hello my dudes, and welcome back to my little corner of YouTube. If you're new here, I'm Evan, and I knit things. And if you're a regular, welcome back. I'm so glad you're all here. So, today I have for you podcast episode number 28. And I have two finished objects. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 whips. A whip update. 2 cool acquisitions. And some book chat and some chat about other stuff. We'll be talking about knitting from November 9th until today, November 22nd. So, sorry I missed you guys last week. I hurt my back and couldn't really do anything. And it's feeling better now. I went to the chiropractor and it's doing better. It's still sore in a spot or two. I think I just pulled something while I was lifting and it was not good, but it is better now. Made myself a latte. So with that, let's just jump right in. And talk about the first finished object. My Doppio. Okay, so let me pull up my page in my notebook here so I can give you all the deets. This is the Doppio Sweater by Seunghee. I am holding a whole bunch of yarn together. This pattern calls for holding 2 strands of fingering weight and 1 strand of a fluffy lace weight together, and size US 10 or 6mm needles. So what I actually did was I held 1 strand of fingering weight, 1 strand of fluffy lace weight, and 2 strands of not fluffy lace weight. So the non-fluffy lace weight I used were Hedgehog Cashmerino lace and in the colorway Dijon, with Knit Picks Shadow lace in the colorway Flicker, and then the fluffy lace I used was called, it was a Surrey alpaca from the Etsy shop Inspire a Mind, and I believe it was called Autumn Leaves. And then I actually alternated 2 different skeins of fingering weight, like every other round. The first one I used was Woolen Boon Classic in the colorway Dirty Chai, and the second one was Plank and Stella 4-ply in the colorway Burnt Honey. Now, that was so much yarn information, I'm sorry. Okay, so I cast this on October 23rd, and I bound off on November 15th. So, pretty cool. I'm obsessed with this sweater. Since you can't see very much of it while I'm sitting here, I will put in a video here of what it looks like with me wearing it. So, this is one of the softest, squishiest, most wonderful things I've ever knit. I mean, look at the colors. They're so good. And it's so cozy. I never want to take it off. Ever, 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 ever. It's got major pumpkin spice vibes, and I'm obsessed with it, and I love it. And I need to knit another one, like, ASAP. Although, I'm not sure another one will be as good, though, because of such high cashmere content. I'm gonna have to like look through my collection and see what I can put together to make another one, because number one, it knit up really quickly. Number two is really easy. Number three, it's incredible. I think that's about it about the Doppio. I'm obsessed. I love it. I want another one right now. So, second finished object. I finished him. Look at him. He's so kitty. Venusaur. He's number 3. So that makes, I think 9 cross stitches or cross stitch Pokemon for the year, but I don't remember. I can look in my journal. It's in here. Nine. That's number 9. So I get to fill in that little box now. So I did finish him. I wanted to immediately start Umbreon, but I didn't. I instead started this. So I gridded this fabric, and I'm in the middle of gridding this fabric for presents for the children. I will show you the pictures of what I'm making on the screen here. This one's for Henry. It's Mario. He's gonna love it. He's obsessed with Mario. And this one's for Garrett. He's obsessed with Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball everything, all the time, forever, completely obsessed with it. So this one's for him. I've never cross-stitched anything this big, either of them, before, and I've never done anything in hand before like this. Like I gridded this in hand, not in a hoop, and I've never done that before. And I've also never gridded fabric before, but these are so large. Like this one's for Henry's, and like that's big, and this one's for Garrett's. I mean, the fabric itself is the same size, but like, you can see how big the design is. You can see how big the design is. They're big. So, if I can get them done, they'll be Christmas gifts, and if not, they'll be birthday gifts, because their birthdays are in February. So, that's it on Cross Stitch Corner today. Let's move on to whips. First whip, let's talk about my Polygon Blanket. Venusaur, you're in the way. Okay, this is the Polygon Blanket by Tin Can Knits. You make these little individual hexagons, and then at the end you sew them all together. I have calculated-ish that I need 128 full hexagons and 30 half hexagons. So here's what one looks like, if you haven't seen this before. So that's one. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. This is the one I made this week. 12. And a half. So I've got a long way to go. If you want to talk yarn real quick, this is all scrap DK weight yarn. This is Hedgehog Fibers Tweety. This is Madeline Tosh DK. I don't know what this is. This is Pixie Yarn DK. And this is Red Door Fiber Studio DK. So, We're making progress. Slow and steady. Will I ever finish this blanket? We'll talk about that in goals, okay? So, I cast this on, or started this project on April 8th, by the way. So, we've not done a great job at doing these regularly, but it's fine. Okay, next whip. This is the Bahama Wrap by TL Yarn Crafts. I cast this on October 21st. I'm using a size 5mm hook. It's Tunisian crochet. And I'm using all of the scraps or yarn that I acquired from workshops and such in Ireland. So I haven't worked on this much, but here's where I was last time, and now I'm up here. It's just like this chevron pattern. Wow. In the viewfinder, that looks like bright blue, but it's actually like a sea foamy greenish. Whatever. Anyway, so I'll move the marker. I'm actually going to change markers because this marker is like, look how small that little... Look how tiny that little lobster clasp is, and it's too small for this yarn. So I'm going to put this one on it. These were from Black Pearl Magic. So I will put this right in the middle here on the row I left off on, so we can see if I get anything done by next time. See? There we go. All the white side showing. Okay, we gotta flip it around. We need the rainbow side out. There we go. So that's what I'm working on. When I finish this yarn, I've got some of this, and 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 that's the crochet hook I started with until I decided I wanted it bigger than that. So, yeah. Stay tuned. Next. Okay, this was my November scarf that I was making to match the mitts that I made for Ireland. However, I didn't like the fabric that it was making. It was too tight. And so I ripped it out and I stopped in the middle of a row. Hold please while I finish this row so you can actually see what I'm talking about without needles being everywhere and in the way. So I'll just tell you about this pattern while I finish this row here. Okay, so let me turn, or did I not even write it down? I didn't write it down. Okay, here we go. This is the Simple Thing, which is a Sophie scarf dupe. It's a free pattern by Melina Brell, and it's basically just a garter stitch shawl that you start at one end and you increase on one side only every other row until you run out of half of your yarn. And then you decrease on one side the whole way. It's really simple, but it's a really nice way to highlight some yarn, and you get some really squishy deliciousness. So here we go. That's what we've got so far. This marker doesn't mean anything. That was just my right side marker for the beginning, because it was hard to tell which side was the right side and which side was the wrong side when I was at the very beginning. And this is much more squishy and feels really good. So obviously this is the increased side and this is the straight side. And I am using some leftover yarn. The colorful yarn is from GamerCrafting. It was a Halloween colorway a few years ago, and the gray purple is from Red Door Fiber Studio. It's her alpaca sock in the colorway Lavender Latte OOAK. So I will go until I run out of half of this yarn, and then I'll decrease. And so this is my purse project, so I only work on it when I'm out of the house or when I need something that I don't have to pay any attention to. But it's a super cute little project, and I like it a lot so far. So there's that. Alright, 2 more projects. This is not going to look like you remember it looking. So I believe I showed you my California sweater for the California Sweater KAL last time, and I had worked on like the back panel and maybe connected some of the front panel. I don't remember, but the top was gray. Well, once I started knitting the green, and I even got so far as to join in the round after the gray portion and then the green portion. I tried it on and it fit fine, but the gray portion, I guess the gray yarn is just fluffier or thicker or something. And just the different density between the 2 yarns, it looked awful and I hated it. So we're going with just the yarn chicken option now. So I've done most of the body. I cut yarn to go to a sleeve when I got to where I thought I wanted the hem. Sorry, this is the California sweater by Leslie of Knit California. She's having a California sweater knit along right now, which goes until December 31st, so you still have plenty of time to cast on a California sweater for the knit along if you want. All you have to do is use the hashtag on Instagram, California Sweater KAL, and you're entered to win prizes at the end. Okay, back to my rant. Okay, so when I got to where I thought I wanted to start the ribbing, I put these stitches on hold and went to do the sleeves and the collar to make sure that I have enough yarn, and then I'll just finish the body with however much yarn I have left. So this is all new since last time you've seen. I did the back panel and the front panels and joined in the round and the whole body, and I'm almost done with the sleeves. See, I started the sleeve ribbing there this morning. So that sleeve will definitely be finished today, and then hopefully I'll be able to pick up for the other sleeve. Then I'll do the collar and then make it as long as I can with the hem. Yarn I am using is Golden Hour Knitwear, both their Surrey and sock bases, and it's an OOAK colorway, which means one of a kind. I got it when she was destashing, and it's lovely. It's just beautiful. So, been working on that a lot. Find a whip. Doo-doo-doo. You really can't see it very well because I have it on too small of needle, or too small of cords right now. But this is the Alchemy Pullover, which I am test knitting for Leslie of Knit California. Look at that detail. Let's see where I was last time. Did I have a marker? Did I put a marker? Did I really not have a... Had I not started it last time you saw it? I feel like I had. No, I just had a swatch. I just had a swatch last time. Okay, okay. Let's put a marker then. We'll use my fuchsia stitch marker. See, it matches, kind of. Not really. Anyway, this yarn is Hedgehog Fibers Merino DK in the colorway Plump, and this is on 4mm or size 6 needles. Again, this is a test knit, so it's not available yet, but the test knit goes until January 26th, and then the pattern is set to come out the first week of February. And it's got these really beautiful details around the arms and along the back shoulder. And I just joined in the round. I've literally got like one round on there. So I'm ready to do the body. Whenever I run out of one of the attached skeins of yarn, which will be soon. Oh, that's not attached. Why isn't that attached? Oh, the round, beginning of round change. So actually, next I'm going to do the collar. So this is all you guys saw, I think. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I don't go back and watch my last episode to see what I talked about. I just wing it. So that's all the whips and the finished objects. We're going to go kind of out of order. Obviously, no, what am I wearing, because we already talked about it. So let's do acquisitions next. Okay, I have two acquisitions. One is yarn and one is not. The yarn that I got is from GamerCrafting. This is I'm a Survivor DK, and it's 100% superwash merino wool, 225 meters per 100 grams. This was a fundraising skein to give money to an SA survivor charity. So I already love GamerCrafting, and this is an excellent reason to get some more of her yarn and pay international shipping. Like, look at those colors. It's really cool. I like it a lot. So I got that. And then, here, I'll open the box for you. What I've been wanting since I started my knitting journal. The Canon Ivy 2 photo sticker printer. Now, why? Why do I want this, do you ask? I will show you. Okay, do you see this? These are all pictures that I printed out on paper and taped into my knitting journal. Annoying, tedious. Now look. Very nice. Print and stick. Do. Love it. This one, and this one. Love it. Makes my life so much easier. So I updated a bunch of things. My closet here. You just saw my Make 9 page. Started a sample page. Those are samples I've done this year. It's great. I may should go through and put a picture on each page of the project that I did, but I'm not going to do that right now because that's too much. Okay, now let's talk goals in a very loose sense of the word. Okay, so I'm not really going to talk about knitting goals for the past 2 weeks, or even for this coming week, because I want to talk about Vlogmas. Okay, so Vlogmas. I do not, that goes in here. I do not think it's feasible for me to film and edit a 15 to 30 minute video every day of December, especially because I will still be teaching the kids for school for 2 of those weeks, so like half of my day I'm not going to show you because I don't post pictures of them on the internet, or video for that matter. But I was thinking I could do like a short on YouTube and a reel on Instagram every day, just of like a, here's what I got up to. So with that in mind, I have a couple options for a thing to focus on during Vlogmas. Like obviously I have my advent calendar, so I can open that in each video. And then option 1 is to knit a sweater with my advent, like work on that advent color every day. I kind of did this last year, and then the sweater at the end didn't fit, and I hated the sweater pattern, and like my gauge was right on, but the pattern still didn't fit right, and it was really terrible, and I ended up ripping the whole thing apart, and it made me really upset. However, I could use a different pattern of a designer that I know fits me well, and so I could do that. I could knit a sweater, film what I'm working on every day, the opening of the advent, the knitting that stripe of the advent that day, and that could be Vlogmas. Option 2. I open my advent, and then I try to finish all of my whips before the end of the year. I don't think I will include the giant pink blanket in there, but I'll include everything else. So currently that is not the giant pink blanket. We've got the Polygon Blanket, my book club cardigan, my Bahama Wrap, my Simple Things shawl. I don't know if that'll count or not because that's just my leaving the house project. That may not count. California sweater, Alchemy Pullover, and I actually have a sample that's going to be coming up here for Pearl Soho that I will be starting December 2nd. So that as well. That's a lot of projects. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plus the sample. 7 projects. I mean, I guess it's possible. It's not like there's any detriment to not finishing. But I've been watching a lot of Ida, of the Kriya Ida on Instagram, and I love her whip purge. And I would love to just like get some of these things off my needles and off of my brain. So that's option 2. Option 3, I can probably finish my California sweater and Alchemy sweater before December. And if I can do that, then perhaps I cast on one or two of the remaining projects on my Make 9 and try to finish those for Vlogmas. I have 2 DK weight sweaters on there that I could probably get done. So that's option 3. Or 4. 3 is whips, 4 is Make 9. I think. No. 1 Advent sweater. 2 whips. 3 Make 9. Option 4, you have some other idea? Let me know. Please let me know in the comments if you have any opinions, what you'd like to see, what you think would be the most interesting, or should I not do it at all? Do you hate Vlogmas? Let me know. I'll also post some polls over on the community tab, so you can vote there if you want. So, that being said, let's talk books. So, from November 9th until now, things I finished since our last episode. Hellbent by Leigh Bardugo, which is the second book in her Alex Stern series. 5 stars, loved it. Black Clover number 23. That was 4 stars. I'm almost getting to parts that I didn't see in the manga, or didn't see in the anime, but not quite yet. A Study in Drowning by Ava Reed, 5 stars. The vibes of this book were so good, and then the last paragraph of this book was perfection. Once and Future Witches by Alex E. Harrow, 3.5 stars. It was such a slog in the middle, but the vibes were really good and the end was good. So take that for what you will. The Wicked Deep by Shay Earnshaw, 2 stars. Very near crap. This was such a teen angsty, but not in an interesting way, just in an annoying, stupid way that I didn't like it. There was no character development. There were plot holes everywhere. It sounded like a 13-year-old girl wrote this in her notebook and put it under her bed. That's what the book felt like. And then Tangles in Treason, which is Vampire Knitting Club prequel by Nancy Warren, 3 stars. It could have had more than that if it was more than 2 hours long. It's mostly a short story that gives you a little background on one specific character. It was fine. There was nothing wrong with it. I just wanted more. So, what I'm currently reading. 2 Twisted Crowns by Rachel Gillig. Loving that. The Warm Hands of Ghosts by Catherine Arden. This one's being really slow and boring for me. I wasn't really expecting... I was expecting more ghosts, less 1918 war. This is becoming a war novel with slight spookiness, and I'm not really enjoying it, but we'll see. Kingdom of Ash by Sarah J. Maas. My husband and I are listening to this. Elantris by Brandon Sanderson. I did actually pick this back up, and I have listened to 4 hours this week. So we're back to making progress on that. And then Kind of, but Not Really, Ruin and Rising by Leigh Bardugo. I think my husband and I will go back to this after we finish Kingdom of Ash. Well, actually, no. We have some long car trips coming up, so we'll listen to that then. We're going to my brother-in-law's house for Thanksgiving and my parents' house for Thanksgiving, and both are an hour away, so we can listen to that in the car. So that's what I've been reading, and that brings me up to 155 books for the year. The arbitrary challenge for Goodreads that I set every year for the past like 3 years or so is 175, just because that seems to be about what I read. I don't actually care if I reach this goal or not. I don't care if I go under. I don't care if I go over. They just like ask you to set a challenge, so I do. But we're at 155, which it says I'm 1 book behind. Yeah, so I think that's all I've got for you today. Like, comment, and subscribe. We are on a journey to 500 subscribers here, and we are currently at 169. So click that little subscribe button if you aren't already subscribed. You'll also want to hit the notification bell if you want to be notified of my next upload. Sometimes things can be sporadic. Chronic illness is like that. Some days it's just not happening. And last, go follow me over on Instagram for more daily stuff. I hope you guys liked this video, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!